Have you ever found yourself holding back your thoughts, not because you doubted their validity, but because you feared the reaction? Imagine possessing insights that could illuminate a situation, yet choosing silence over expression. Why does this happen? Intelligent individuals often grapple with the fear of social backlash. This isn't about lacking courage or conviction. It's about the anticipation of negative consequences. The smarter someone is, the more they can foresee potential outcomes. They understand that voicing dissenting opinions can lead to isolation, ridicule, or even professional repercussions. Consider the phenomenon of pluralistic ignorance, where individuals mistakenly believe their thoughts are in the minority. This leads to a collective silence, where everyone assumes others disagree, when in fact, many share the same unspoken concerns. The result? A dominant narrative persists unchallenged, not because it's universally accepted, but because dissenters remain silent. Moreover, the rise of cancel culture has intensified this fear. The prospect of being publicly shamed or ostracized for expressing unpopular opinions deters many from speaking out. The digital age has amplified this, where a single comment can be taken out of context and lead to widespread condemnation. But what are the consequences of this silence? When intelligent voices withdraw, the discourse becomes one-sided, misinformation spreads unchecked, and critical thinking diminishes. Society loses out on valuable perspectives that could challenge prevailing assumptions and foster progress. So, ask yourself, are you holding back your voice out of fear? What truths remain unspoken because of the potential backlash? And what is the cost of this collective silence? The burden of understanding complexity. Why do those who understand the world more deeply often speak the least? Could it be that knowledge doesn't empower, but isolates? Highly intelligent individuals tend to perceive complexity where others see simplicity. They understand that most issues cannot be reduced to binary arguments. Every social, political, or philosophical question has layers: historical context, psychological nuance, and unintended consequences. This awareness makes them cautious. They hesitate to speak, not because they have nothing to say, but because they know how easily their words can be misunderstood or manipulated. Take, for example, discussions around social justice, governance, or human behavior. A shallow view is easily tweeted or turned into a viral soundbite, but the truth, the real, nuanced, complicated truth doesn't fit into a headline. Smart people know this. They fear oversimplification because they understand that it breeds misinformation. They don't want to contribute to the noise. They want to add value, but the environment often punishes thoughtfulness and rewards outrage. In academic circles or philosophical debates, complexity is embraced, but in public discourse, it's feared. People want quick answers, certainty, and when someone challenges that with layers of nuance, they're often seen as evasive or elitist. This creates a paradox. The more someone knows, the less they're likely to speak in spaces where knowledge is most needed. So ask yourself, are we creating a culture that discourages complexity? Are we favoring loud voices over wise ones? And what happens when only the oversimplified narratives survive? Fear of misinterpretation and social backlash. Why do wise people bite their tongues while ignorance shouts from the rooftops? Is it fear or is it wisdom? One of the most powerful reasons intelligent individuals choose silence is the fear of being misunderstood. In a world driven by hot takes and instant judgment, words can easily be twisted, context can be stripped away, and intention ignored. The smarter the speaker, the greater the likelihood they are aware of how fragile communication is, especially in public spaces. Social media has only magnified this risk. A single sentence taken out of context can destroy reputations, ruin careers, and invite relentless attacks. In such an environment, silence becomes a shield. It's not that intelligent people don't care about truth. It's that they care about delivering it in a way that's both responsible and clear to things the internet rarely allows time for. Consider the fate of thinkers and whistleblowers throughout history: Socrates, Galileo, even modern-day scientists or journalists. Speaking the truth often comes with consequences, and while intelligence equips one to understand complex issues, it also gives a clear view of the social risks of speaking out. Many decide that the cost isn't worth it. Furthermore, intelligent people tend to value internal peace over external recognition. They may choose to work quietly, influence subtly, or teach through example, rather than debate. Silence, in their hands, is not a sign of ignorance or fear. It's often a sign of measured strength. But this raises a chilling question. If those who know the truth remain silent, who is left to speak? The curse of knowledge when knowing too much leads to silence. Have you ever felt that the more you understand, the harder it becomes to express your thoughts, that the depth of your knowledge creates a chasm between you and others? This phenomenon is often referred to as the curse of knowledge. When individuals possess extensive knowledge on a subject, they may struggle to simplify complex ideas for those less familiar. This can lead to frustration and a reluctance to engage in discussions, fearing misinterpretation or oversimplification of their insights. Moreover, intelligent individuals often anticipate the nuances and counter-arguments in conversations. This foresight can make them hesitant to speak, as they foresee the potential for misunderstanding or conflict. They may choose silence over the risk of their words being misconstrued. Additionally, the fear of appearing arrogant or condescending can deter knowledgeable individuals from sharing their insights. They may worry that their contributions will be perceived as showing off, leading them to withhold valuable perspectives. This self-imposed silence, while stemming from humility and caution, can deprive discussions of depth and critical analysis. It raises the question, are we creating environments where knowledge is stifled by the fear of misinterpretation? The silent strength of observation, why silence can be a strategy. What if silence is not a sign of weakness, but a deliberate strategy, a strength in disguise? In many ways, silence is often misunderstood. It's not merely the absence of speech, but sometimes the most powerful act a person can make in a conversation. Intelligent individuals are acutely aware of the power of observation. Instead of rushing to speak, they sit back and observe the dynamics at play. They listen, not just to words, but to body language, tone, and the underlying emotions behind statements. In doing so, they gather information that others may miss, making them better equipped to offer insights when the time is right. This ability to step back and observe before engaging allows them to avoid the pitfalls of impulsivity, a trait that often leads to misunderstandings or regret. By waiting, they avoid jumping into conversations prematurely, ensuring that their contributions are more meaningful and impactful when they do decide to speak. Moreover, silence creates an aura of mystery. When intelligent individuals remain silent, they cultivate a sense of curiosity in others. Their quiet confidence and composed demeanor often lead people to value their words more when they do speak. Silence, in this sense, is not a passive choice, but a strategic method to maintain influence in a conversation, a way to make others seek their opinions and perspectives. This observation-focused silence also links back to emotional intelligence. By holding back, they ensure that they are not just reacting to stimuli, but that their words and actions are deliberate and purposeful. In a world where reactive behavior often dominates, this measured approach sets them apart and elevates their ability to make a real impact when they do choose to engage. Silence as a tool for emotional regulation and self-control. Why do some individuals seem unshaken by the chaos around them, while others are easily swayed by every emotion? It's not just intelligence, it's emotional regulation. One key reason why intelligent individuals choose to remain silent in challenging situations is their remarkable ability to manage their emotions. They understand that speech often springs from emotion, and uncontrolled speech can lead to regret, conflict, and the amplification of negative feelings. For highly intelligent people, emotional self-regulation becomes a protective mechanism. Instead of reacting impulsively, they take a moment of silence to process their feelings. This allows them to gain clarity, separate their emotions from their thoughts, and respond in a calm and collected manner. By maintaining control over their emotions, they avoid saying things they might regret, especially in high-pressure or emotionally charged situations. The silence they cultivate is not a sign of weakness or avoidance. It is a sign of self-control. The act of holding their tongue allows them to avoid the turmoil of unmeasured reactions and gives them the power to choose their words wisely when the time comes. This kind of emotional mastery is crucial not only for maintaining inner peace, but also for preserving relationships and fostering a positive environment in the long run. The power of silence in leadership. Is it possible that the most effective leaders are the ones who speak the least? Many people assume that a good leader is someone who dominates conversations, speaks frequently, and is always the loudest voice in the room. However, the reality is quite the opposite. The best leaders often use silence as a tool for influence, ensuring that their presence is felt without overwhelming others with unnecessary words. In moments of conflict or disagreement, intelligent people may retreat into silence as a form of emotional pause, giving themselves the space they need to think critically about the situation. They understand that reacting in the heat of the moment often clouds judgment, whereas taking a step back allows them to regain perspective. This ability to pause before responding is a hallmark of emotional intelligence, as it prevents unnecessary escalation and enables them to find more effective, rational solutions. Moreover, silence can serve as a protective shield against external negativity in toxic environments or when faced with criticism. The ability to remain silent is empowering. Instead of engaging with the negativity, intelligent people withdraw, safeguarding their emotional well-being. They understand that silence can protect them from unnecessary harm, allowing them to maintain their mental equilibrium. Intelligent individuals, particularly those in positions of leadership, know that leadership is about more than just speaking. It's about knowing when to speak and when to listen. By choosing silence at key moments, they signal that they value the opinions of others and are open to hearing different perspectives. This is especially important in situations where collaboration and consensus building are necessary. Silence in leadership also demonstrates confidence. When leaders are comfortable with silence, they show that they are not afraid of not having all the answers immediately. They don't feel compelled to fill every moment with words, which can give others the space to express their thoughts more freely. In doing so, they create an environment where team members feel heard and valued, which fosters a stronger sense of trust and cooperation. Moreover, silence can be an incredible tool for reflection. Effective leaders use moments of silence to process information, assess situations, and consider the long-term consequences of their decisions. By stepping back and thinking before acting or speaking, they ensure that their responses are well thought out and aligned with their values and objectives. This connection with silence often leads to a deeper understanding of themselves and the world around them. Without the influence of outside opinions or pressures, they are able to listen to their intuition and draw upon their inner wisdom. It is through these moments of introspection that they find clarity, solve problems, and make decisions that are aligned with their true values. Silence, then, becomes a tool for self-discovery and growth. By retreating into silence, intelligent individuals are able to break free from the noise of society, of expectations, and of immediate reactions, allowing them to hear the whispers of their own wisdom. This process helps them make more thoughtful, intentional decisions and leads to a deeper sense of inner peace and fulfillment. This quiet strength often makes leaders more approachable, as their silence gives others the opportunity to contribute without fear of being overshadowed. It also makes them appear more deliberate, thoughtful, and less reactive, traits that command respect. Through the strategic use of silence, these leaders don't just lead by words, but by example, showing others how to think before they speak and how to listen attentively to the voices around them. Silence as a path to inner wisdom. Could silence be the gateway to deeper wisdom? For many intelligent individuals, silence is not just about avoiding unnecessary words or emotions. It is also about cultivating inner wisdom. The more they silence the external noise around them, the more they are able to tap into their inner voice, a voice that is clear, calm, and full of insight. In a world filled with constant distractions and constant noise, intelligent individuals recognize the power of quiet contemplation. By allowing themselves the space to think without interruption, they create the conditions for clarity and understanding. This inner silence provides a kind of mental purity, enabling them to process information, reflect on their experiences, and develop new perspectives. The silent strength of intelligent people. As we've explored throughout this video, the decision of highly intelligent individuals to remain silent is not a mere passive behavior. It is a conscious, strategic choice shaped by a deep understanding of human nature, emotional regulation, and the power of silence itself. Silence is their tool for clarity, control, and emotional resilience. It is the quiet force that allows them to navigate complex situations with wisdom, avoiding rash decisions and impulsive reactions that can often lead to regret. In moments of conflict, stress, or uncertainty, intelligent people know that silence is not a sign of weakness, but of strength. It's an active choice that shows patience, discipline, and an unwavering commitment to thoughtful reflection. Their silence speaks louder than words, offering a chance to listen, to observe, and to understand before responding. By staying silent, they protect their emotional well-being, encourage thoughtful dialogue, and foster respect. Silence becomes a form of empowerment, allowing them to retain control over their reactions and decisions. It becomes a path to personal growth, self-discovery, and a deeper understanding of the world around them. In essence, silence for intelligent people is not absence, it's presence. It's the space from which wisdom emerges. So, next time you find yourself in a conversation or situation where words seem to fly, remember the power of silence. Take a step back, listen, and allow your inner wisdom to guide you. Like the most insightful individuals, you too can harness the transformative power of silence, and in doing so, become more thoughtful, more present, and more effective in every aspect of your life.